But then we heard a noise outside, like someone running. There was a crashing sound through the bushes.
It's Benson.
Granger turned, and in one swift movement snapped off the lights, all of them, but the one on his desk. Then there was a figure at the door.
Granger! Where are you, Granger? Shoot, Benson.
Benson, get back!
All right, Benson, I've been waiting for this.
The room went white and red, like heat lightning. I ran for the light switch. But now, it was too late.
All right, Regan. You're my witness. He tried to kill me. I fired in self-defense.
A man lay on the floor, face down. I turned him over. It was Jimmy Benson, and he was dead.
This is CBS, and you were listening to The British Are Coming, tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator.
It started when a man named Granger hired the Lion and me to witness a murder. That's right, murder. Only Granger told it another way. He said a kid named Benson was gunning for him, and he was going to gun right back. He wanted us around to make sure it was self-defense. Granger was right. Benson did come gunning, and Granger was waiting for him. And Granger's aim was better. I told that to Police Lieutenant Candid as he stood looking over the body of Benson, munching his usual candy bar.
And, you say you were standing right here when it happened, Regan?
That's right.
Here, you want a pipe?
No, thanks.
And, the dead man, Benson, he came in the French door shooting?
He saw Granger and opened up. Granger fired back.
Granger was a lucky man, Regan.
Not so lucky.
What do you mean by that?
He had his gun ready, Candid, real ready. He knew the score.
Still, Granger was lucky the boy's shots went so wild.
Maybe you got something.
Okay, Regan. What's eating you?
Candid, doesn't it seem odd that Granger fired perfect shots in semi-darkness, yet Benson couldn't even hit the right side of the room?
Maybe Granger had been practicing.
Maybe it's even better than that.
You sure you'd want to buy the candy bar, Regan? It's your chocolate almond.
Candid munched, and I thought. But it still came to one total. Granger had shot and killed Jimmy Benson in self-defense. I was walking out for fresh air, thinking about that, when I heard him.
Oh, Regan.
Oh, Granger.
I want to talk to you.
Police through with you already?
It's an open and shut case, Regan. Thanks for your kind assistance.
Leave me out of it.
Oh, on the contrary, I couldn't have done without you. You've earned the other 500, Regan.
You haven't seen the coroner's jury yet.
A mere formality. Here.
You're eager to be sure, aren't you, Granger?
I hired certain services. Those services have been rendered to my satisfaction. Take the money.
Suppose I tell you I think your self-defense plea is phony.
What you think doesn't matter. What the police think does.
Suppose I tell you that somewhere, somehow, I'm going to find out the truth behind it, the real truth.
You were here. You saw the truth.
Something's missing.
Leave that to the police.
All right, I'm in it now, Granger. More than I thought I'd be. I let your money buy too much.
Too much what?
Too much Regan. From now on, I promise you'll get more than your money's worth. I left the well-dressed Mr. Granger sputtering over his open billfold. It was pat, too perfect to stomach. And somewhere in it, there was too much planning. If the Lion and I had thought we could stop a killing, we were too late. The only thing left? To establish a murder. It was the next afternoon before I got something worth working on. I drove down Wilshire to the trim, boxy boarding house where I'd met James Benson. Out on the steps was the person I wanted to see. Mother Cole, sweeping leaves with a battered broom.
Yes? Oh, it's you again. Did you decide on that room?
I wanted to talk to you about one of your boarders, James Benson.
What's that? Jimmy? Oh, is he in trouble again?
Benson's dead, Mrs. Cole.
Jimmy? Dead? Oh, my, isn't that a shame? So young, too. Well, we all have to go sometime, don't we? Would you like to see that room, Mr. Regan?
Room?
The one you're interested in. Oh, it's very nice and airy, too. I could give you a special rate.
Well,
No, wait. Why, you could have Jimmy Benson's room if you liked. It's the best one in the house.
Benson? Yeah. Yeah, Benson's room. Maybe I'll take a look at that, Mrs. Cole. I followed the landlady up the stairs to Benson's room. Mrs. Cole unlocked the door and gave me the complete tour. Then she beamed proudly.
Well, you take just as much time as you like, Mr. Regan. I'm sure you'll decide on it.
And I was in the room alone, looking at the neatness of it. At the studio couch a dead man wouldn't be sleeping on. At the telephone. At the desk, still open. And then I found plenty. A date book, dated 1947, but with entries made yesterday, the day before. A date book that had become a diary. I read it, the entries about Granger, about Lynn Richards. Jealousy raging on every page. Until the last entry, yesterday's. And that's the one that made me stop. It said, "He says it will be tonight. He can't have her. I'll show him." I grabbed up the date book and left in a hurry. I found Lynn Richards in the tea room across from Granger's. Her eyes looked through me.
Oh, Mr. Regan.
Mind if I sit down?
No, I don't mind.
You know about him.
Yes, I know.
Mind answering a couple of questions?
What's the use, Mr. Regan? What difference does it make?
Well, it could make a lot.
He's dead, isn't he? He had to do it. Jimmy had to lose his head to go out there. I warned him, Mr. Regan. I told him not to listen to Granger.
Well, then, why did Benson go out there last night?
I don't know.
He told me he had a date with you.
I had to cancel it. Granger insisted we finish some correspondence.
When was that?
Granger called me around 7. He said we had to get the work done, and I couldn't refuse.
Your job.
Jimmy's job. Oh, don't you see, Mr. Regan? If I'd refused Mr. Granger, he'd have taken it out on Jimmy.
But you couldn't make Jimmy see that, huh?
I was wrong. I was terribly wrong. I see that now. No job is that important.
Tell me about last night. You went out to Granger's at 7. What then?
We had dinner. Mr. Granger was in a good humor. He laughed about Jimmy and his jealousy. I suppose I even laughed, too.
Then you went to work.
No, we didn't work.
What?
Well, that's the odd part of it. You see, we finished dinner around 8:30, and then, just before 9, he told me to go home.
What did he say when he told you to go home?
Well, it was very odd. He said, "Well, it has been a charming evening. Much too charming for work."
That all?
He said he wouldn't leave me after all. That what he had in mind, he could set up himself.
Set up?
Yes, those are the words he used.
Set up? Set what up?
Mr. Regan, have you uncovered something?
You know, sometimes there's a thin line between self-defense and murder. My job is to find that line. What made Granger certain he could outshoot James Benson? It had to be planned, to be set up, as Granger himself put it. But how? I drove down to the office of my boss, the Lion. But if I thought he had any ideas about murder, I was wrong.
Jeffrey, well, come in, my boy. I was just closing for the day.
Lion, can't you let that tie alone?
Oh, the necktie? Just retying it for dinner.
Lion, I didn't come here to talk about ties. Granger's the man I'm interested in.
Yes, Jeffrey, I read about it. It's dreadful.
You were the first guy to talk to Granger. He told you he was going to kill a man.
Yes, but of course I thought...
He said it would be self-defense. Now, Lion, did he say anything about how he knew it would be self-defense?
No, Jeffrey. He just said he wanted us as witnesses.
I think, Lion, he must have told you something about the job.
Well, you see, he handed me this tie, and... Oh, by the way, did you know I cut myself shaving this morning because of my new tie?
What?
It's a fact, Jeffrey. I was shaving when the mirror door to the medicine cabinet swung open, and it showed my new tie lying on the bed, and I was watching
Lion,
it...
that's it.
What's what? Did I say something?
You said plenty. I'll see you later, General.
Jeffrey, what is it? What did I say?
Not much, Lion. Just the solution for a murder. 30 minutes later, I pulled up in front of Granger's place. Dark, silent, lonely-looking. The house, a huge gray shape against the expensive shrubbery. I moved slowly up the gravel driveway. Up to the house and the room. To the French doors where a hot-headed guy crazy with jealousy had gone to his death. 5 minutes later, I had the door open and was inside. Quickly, I moved into the big library. Circled around the heavy furniture, the drapes, the big desk. My hand felt for a light switch and found it. The desk lamp threw a shaft of light down on the desk chair. That was the first step. Next, the mirrored doors. I went over to them, swinging them in and out, finding just the right angles, always keeping in mind the desk chair with a light on it. And then I had it. A method for murder.
Who's in here?
I turned off the desk light and moved away. I heard his big frame move toward the overhead light switch. I wouldn't turn them on if I were you, Granger.
Regan.
The lights might make you an easy mark.
Regan, what do you want in my house?
I found it, what I wanted.
You're paid off. Now get out.
That's the way you figured it, wasn't it, Granger? Enough money will buy anything, even a self-defense plea or a murder.
Got a gun, Regan.
And I got evidence. A neat arrangement of mirrors. You put a light on yourself at the desk and arrange the door mirrors. You explain the mirrors as vanity. And that even checked with what I knew about you. Only this time, you put them to use.
You can't prove that.
Benson came running in here and fired at mirrors, just like you knew he would. You sat back in your desk chair, knowing where he'd fire, and let him shoot. And then you killed him.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying. No. Benson had a date with Lynn Richards, and at the last minute you made her come out here to work. She told Benson that, tried to explain, but to really set him off, you phoned him too. Told him you had Lynn out here at the house.
Regan, you're making it up. You're trying
Benson kept a diary. Yesterday's entry said, he says it will be tonight. The he is you, Granger. You phoned Benson, made sure he'd show up angry, jealous. You even locked every door to the place except the one to your study. Part of the staging, the setup you told Lynn Richards you'd arrange.
Regan, I'm coming for you.
I felt his movement across the room before I saw him. The dark shadows moving along the wall. The occasional creak of shoe leather or the faint brush of trousers against chair. He was moving in, and he had a gun, and I had a gun. And it was dark. I got an idea. I slipped gently along the wall, judging it carefully, guessing, hoping for the right spot. And then I flipped on the lights.
There you are!
Try again, Granger.
Regan! Where are you? Dice for you!
Your own trick, Granger. A scared guy shoots at mirrors and is left with an empty gun.
Regan!
You can call this one self-defense. Maybe the warden will loan you a mirror, Granger, so you can watch when they strap you in the chair. So, Kurt Granger got a free ride in a police car, and the Lord Granger chain of English-type men's stores could start looking for a new owner. It was after lunch the next day when I checked in with my boss, the Lion. There was the Lion, not only in his brand-new tie, but complete with brand-new double-breasted navy blue pinstripe drape-shaped suit.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey.
Lion, you did it!
You what's it? I did what?
You bought a new suit, General, and on you, it looks great.
Well, after all, Jeffrey, we did make a big fee on this case, and our client, Mr. Granger, was so well-dressed.
And as head of the Lion Detective Bureau, it's your duty to look good for the company.
Yes, Jeffrey, that's exactly it. It is my duty to look prosperous, to uphold the dignity.
And, of course, Eddie will be glad to see it, too.
Eddie?
You know, Eddie, down at the drugstore.
Yeah.
Let's see, you owe him about $12, isn't it? Cigars, remember? And then there's Joe.
Joe?
At the newsstand in the corner. Let me see, you borrowed 10 from him last week. And he'll be glad to see you looking prosperous.
Jeffrey, you know...
Oh, yeah, and then there's Mr. Johnson.
The landlord.
Yeah, I saw him out in the hall a minute ago. Yeah, that must be what he meant.
Jeffrey, what are you talking about? What did he say?
Well, he told me things must be looking up with the agency. Said something about raising the office rent.
Jeffrey, quick, the closet!
You wait to hide.
Who wants to hide? Get me my old suit!
Jeff Regan, Investigator, is written by William Frug and Gilbert Thomas, directed by Sterling Tracy, and stars Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. Original music is by Dick Arant. Join us next week for another transcribed adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator, over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.